Yep.
And we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excuse me.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the September meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Merrimack Public Library. We have on here, we need to start our meeting with the fire department going by, honking at us.
So the top of the meeting is you're going to have your public hearing
Yes.
to accept the DCU funds.
Yes.
Joanne also reminded me today that last year's turkey shoot, we raised $5,727.18 towards the book drop, which the Friends have been holding. And they can, since the book drop is here, they can give it to the library now, and you can also accept that, if you think it's appropriate in this public hearing.
Well, this public hearing was for the DCU money,
Yes. Do you want
so we need to do both at the same time, is what you're saying?
to, if you think it's okay, we've never had over $5,000 to accept, so it's kind of, it's nice that we have to, but
Well, in the announcement for the public hearing, was it specified
No.
what was being accepted? So
Yes.
if that's the case, then this,
so we'll wait for
I
next
would
time.
I
wait
think
for a
so.
second public hearing for the
Okay.
second one
Yeah.
then.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So this public hearing is to accept the $5,000 that DCU donated to the library. We posted a public notice through the town procedure, and now we are ready to vote to accept.
After the public hearing, but I don't see anybody from the public to.
Yeah, there's nobody from the public here at the moment, so I vote that we accept the donation from, or make a motion that we accept the donation from DCU of $5,000.
I second the motion.
Okay, the motion passes. Thank you.
Oh, we have to.
With the vote.
Oh, I'm sorry, we have to vote. I always forget a step. It's just like, move on. All in favor? Okay, now we
Now
pass.
it passes.
Let me thank them very much.
Yes.
Sorry.
With much gratitude.
I am sorry.
much
I'm
gratitude.
used to sort of going over that part in a meeting. Okay. Then we can proceed. We'll do the,
I don't know
yes.
if you have to close a public hearing.
We shall close the public hearing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Any comments about that? No? Okay, we're agreed. We're closing the public hearing. The next on our agenda is acceptance of the minutes. The minutes.
The minutes.
I don't know what has gotten into me tonight.
21st.
For August 21st meeting, yes. Are there any comments regarding the minutes? Ooh, what's this?
Yes.
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 Do tell.
Do tell, please. Not too much.
Joanne
Public or
and
non-public?
public.
These are
Okay.
public.
Joanne Marston and Brendan Cello were present.
I never,
Oh, that's right, they should be called out on top, I guess, yeah.
huh. So sorry. I will correct that.
I actually had to read to see if this was the one that Brendan was at.
I totally.
Yes, it was.
And
He
it was.
here
As I read
last
it,
night.
I was like, yep,
Yes,
this is
he was.
This is when he was at.
Thank you for
I
picking
think
up on that.
Yeah, I missed it.
I believe they were there. At least Joanne was here the whole meeting, I believe.
When
Yes,
Brenda was
she
here at the
was.
beginning
Yeah, and he
and he left
left
after
Yes.
his
after his
presentation.
part. Yep.
Any other comments regarding the minutes? I don't remember making any comments here.
So do we want to do public and non-public as one vote?
Yes, we can do that. We also have non-public minutes. We can do these as one vote. I have mine here. I read those over. Here it is. Any comments on the non-public minutes as well?
I just read those over, they were fine. So I'll make
Was
them,
Joanne on that one, Liz?
We have a motion to
She
accept.
here-
Joanne.
Joanne
Yes,
wasn't
Joanne.
here.
Yeah,
What?
That
She
why
was in the non-public.
That's why we
Oh,
had
she
her.
was
Oh.
in
Yeah, because she was the
Yeah.
non-public.
yeah.
So she'll need
You're
to
right,
be-
she was.
yeah.
Oh,
Well, yeah, but she'll need to be listed on
totally
that.
forgot that. Okay, so,
So I'll make the motion to accept.
well, wait a minute now. So I just should add Joanne
Yeah, that she was in
to
attendance,
the
yeah.
attendance?
For both.
Yes, for both. All right.
Any other
I'm
comments?
sorry.
So I'll make the
Just
motion to
unusual.
accept.
Did you just second?
I'll second.
I thought I heard you say second. I'm sorry.
Sure,
All in
second.
favor? The minutes passed for the August 21st meeting.
So, I'm sorry, just tell me, who moved?
I motion, she seconded.
He mowed.
Okay, great.
She-
I mowed it.
And I seconded it.
Okey dokey. Just
Oh, dear.
trying to do three things at once here.
Can I ask a question about minutes?
Yes.
Please.
And this might be, Karen, you might be able to answer it, or Janet, you might be able to answer it. Did you ever accept the trustees of the trust funds?
Now, let me tell you, we discussed it in the June meeting, and we never formally voted to accept it.
You didn't?
But, no, it was Janet, as part of her treasurer's report, it was a topic in the June minutes. But we never formally voted to accept that. I didn't
on.
know that we were supposed to. So I did make a note in the June minutes. I went back, because I got the email.
I thought you just
Right.
reported that we received
Yeah.
them.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. You reported that we received the money we requested from the trustees of the trust funds. That's almost exactly what I wrote.
Okay.
I never put the amount, but it
So
was.
do we need to, do we need to vote
That's why
on
we held
that?
off voting on it, is because we didn't have the exact amount, if I remember right, isn't it?
No, I don't.
I don't
I-
think it came up.
I don't know why we have to vote on it.
So it's a coming in.
But it's not a donation, it's not a gift, and it's two different checks that make it over
It's a source
five.
of income.
I don't know that we have to
So-
vote on it.
Yeah, it's a source of income.
I always have a thing on my director's report of things you vote for, so I didn't want to miss.
I
Which
just-
is a
Can't
good
hurt
thing,
to
yeah.
Vote for.
Yeah, it's
Vote to
good.
Well,
accept
it's a
it.
source of
Okay,
income.
On your note, I was like, maybe we do. And I started going through
Yeah.
things, and because it was two different checks, it wasn't over $5,000. And then when a trust comes in, you accept the trust, which was done in the early 1900s, so that's done. And
Yeah.
so I have no problem voting on it, I just didn't know under what.
I kind of agree. It's a source of income rather than a gift, or, so it's different. Just like other things are a source of
Well, I
income,
did-
but they're
when
not
you
a
said
donation or a
Watson
gift or a
account, the Watson
fundraiser.
account we control.
Right,
This is an account we don't control.
right, but we
Right.
don't we don't accept the Watson gift. We don't vote on that.
If it would make people feel like we're more proper, we can vote on
Sure.
it. But again, I don't
I can
think
get
it's
you the numbers.
necessary.
It was.
What, does
Among other
anybody,
things, what we would have to do is get the exact amount.
she's
'cause
looking
Looking
that
at
up.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to vote on it? Would you feel more
It's
comfortable
fine with
if we
me.
did that? I mean, I see it as a source of income, because it's a yearly thing, and it's not something that's
Matters one way or
gifted.
the other, but just to be
What?
formal, I don't think it matters one way or the other, but just to be formal,
You think, okay,
I'd say
we can.
let's just make the motion, and do it. So, once you get the amount,
Yep.
you wanna make the motion with the amount?
Sure.
Is it a motion to receive or a motion to accept?
Accept.
So who is,
Just looking it up still.
oh, okay.
Do you want the total, or do you want it, because it came in two checks?
I would say the total.
Yeah, the total.
Okay. So I move to accept that the receipt of the town trust funds of $5,331.13.
And that was the amount requested.
That was the amount requested.
Treasurer moved to accept $5,331.13.
If it matters, that money actually represents 90% of what we could have taken.
Right, and we had discussed that. That was customary.
Correct.
Received from the trustee, requested.
We hold back
And-
10% so
Yes.
that money can grow. Let us know when you're ready.
So we need a second?
Yeah, we'll say, were you going
I'll
to second?
second.
You're seconding?
Okay.
Are you caught up?
Yeah, Janet and
We have a
who
second?
seconded?
Janice?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Okay.
And we have now formalized that. Anything else related to that? Nope? Okay. Can we move on?
Yeah.
Next are committee updates. Rick, Friends of the Merrimack Public Library?
Friends did meet this past month. It was a short meeting, but they did talk more about the book sale that we just had. There wasn't anything other than that I remember.
Do you know how
Yeah.
much?
I wasn't able to show up on Sunday because of issues with my daughter, so
Okay.
I showed up for all 5
Oh,
seconds.
she's got that later. Okay, that's
Do you
fine.
want it now? The total? I'll give you it.
Just curiosity.
So the book sale earned $2,387.75.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
2,387.75.
Okay.
At least it was on the quarter. So many times you'll have like 80 cents
Penny.
or like 55, and I'm like, what?
Messes up the bookkeeping. The Development Fund will be meeting this week, I think.
Tomorrow.
At the library. 2 o'clock?
1.
1 o'clock. The Library Building Development and Marketing Committee is on hiatus. Town Center Committee is Karen.
Yes, there was a meeting right here. Nothing big that was new. There were discussions about the new proposal for the new grant for the Woodbury Street sidewalk coming up. That the Sauhegan Trail is going to be dedicated at some point, and there was discussion about who should be invited to the dedication once that's completed, because now we do have the money. And it was a pretty short meeting. Next meeting's October 26th.
Okay. Thank you. The next one is the Turkey Shoot Committee, which reconvened, had their first meeting last Saturday. The Turkey Shoot is a fundraiser we hold the week or two before Thanksgiving. It is a night of family fun of raffles where the library raises money for a particular item that the library wants to raise, and I'm not sure what that is yet this year. So we hope people will come and enjoy the fun. We will update you on the date next time. Don't know what that is right now. And it is held at the Merrimack High School. Okay. Trustee committees, the Personnel Committee, I think is, there's nothing to report at this time.
Nope.
The Building Committee, nothing to report, and the Investment Committee is on hold until after the space study is completed. New business, alternate trustee appointment procedures. Rick and I are going to meet and finalize that. It's just a procedure on how an alternate is brought onto the board.
Can I just say?
Yes.
I found in my files, this is a flyer that was posted when Mr. Kelly passed away.
Oh.
So if there's language that helps you, I'll just share
Thank
that
you.
around. Sure.
Thank you.
But that's for an actual trustee position versus an alternate, but
Sure,
yeah,
but
it'd be similar.
It's a nice description of,
Yeah.
Plays well with others.
Oh, I didn't take one. Sorry.
Two extras.
No, I only need one.
But
I-
there's
we already
extras, so
passed.
pass that
Oh.
back.
Oh, so I made one for me. Excellent. Sometimes I
There you
don't
go.
know.
Thank you, that'll be helpful. We will refer to that. The next item is need to schedule a right-to-know training that,
I'm working on that.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Has to do with the right-to-know laws, et cetera. Transfer oversight of book sales to the Library Friends Group. That is, the book sale has been a shared activity basically with the trustees and the Friends, and we are now turning that over to the Friends since the Friends is the fundraising arm of the library. So we would need to put forth a motion to transfer the responsibility for the sale to the Friends from the trustees. Do I hear a motion for that?
Question,
Yes.
are they prepared for that at this point? Was that part of, I mean,
They will
was that a
be,
request of
will they be
theirs?
taking over in January?
They're hoping to. Claire shadowed me at the last book sale. And she and Danielle have the kind of checklist of things that have to be done and contact names and numbers. So, I think they're aiming for January.
They are aware we were going to be
Yeah.
doing this, and they know that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, just
So
wanted to,
I think there's,
I mean, what happened?
not that we
on-
can't help out, but
Of
we're
course.
just transferring.
When on Friday, we were having the Friends pre-sale, and all of us kept saying, "Oh yeah, make the checks out to the Friends of the library." And then we realized, oh no, it should be made out to the library still. So everyone's in the mindset of of it's going in another direction, and of course, we're always looking for volunteers to assist.
Right.
So I think it seems like if you vote for January, for them to take it over in January, it's really just the checks get made out to Danielle, who's the treasurer of the Friends, did everything with the startup cash. I didn't, we didn't prepare any startup cash, but she had all the denominations of coins and dollar bills. And, and then Claire and I counted it and recounted it and recounted it and recounted it.
Okay.
And then I made the deposit. So there's just a couple of little things that would, someone else's responsibility in terms of handling the cash.
I don't really see why that would hold us back from voting to transfer that in
Okay.
January. Do you?
I don't think it does.
Yeah.
I don't think it
I don't
does
either.
because then it's still, we still need lots of help.
Yeah.
It's a
Like I
busy.
say, not to say
busy
the
book sale.
trustees can't help out and volunteer and,
Right.
do what we can, but we're just not owning it anymore.
Yeah.
Really, is all we're doing. So
okay, so were you making the motion?
I will make a motion to transfer the administrative duties of the book sale from the Board of Trustees to the Friends.
Well, it's from me.
From you, from the
Because
library
I'm the one who
director?
does all the.
That's right,
all the
and
legwork.
from the library director
From the director.
to the Friends of the Library, of the Merrimack Library.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay. Done. All set?
Mhm.
Okay. And CIP 2018-19, I will turn that over to Yvette.
Okay, so I handed out, because it's a large packet,
What's
the CIPs. So these are the capital improvement projects that each department in town submits to the finance director. He compiles it into a very big spreadsheet with target fiscal years for completion. I made a cover sheet so you can see what we've done last year, what we've done in the past, and what we're doing, what I'm proposing we do this year. Library sidewalk replacement, that's part of if they ever do a larger repair of sidewalks near the library. I want them to know we're interested in that.
Are you
We
talking
wanna
about the entire sidewalk around the entire library, or just on Babuzik Lake, Route 3, I mean?
whatever they can be, whatever is the scope of the town project.
Oh, okay.
We want to be part of that.
Yep.
Slate roof we've had on the CIP for a little while. It's kind of a placeholder because it's a large expense.
Mhm.
The DW trench drain evaluation repair. This is the drain outside of the children's windows that it's still, I think we still need to put it in, even though that repair might happen sooner than later. I think it still needs to be represented. Library elevator, that's a future, if it needs to be overhauled. Right now, we've had the wheels replaced and updated in the elevator, but it's the same elevator. An evaluation, right now we're doing the space study with Stibler Associates, but I would be more comfortable if we still had this because they're interior designers and they're looking at square footage. And once it goes to the next level and we start to have to talk to an engineer or an architect, that's a different kind of money. So I think that should still be, I'd be more comfortable if we continued to have it there. New library, we've had that as a placeholder. Children's room windows, that should be hopefully addressed this year. But I wouldn't not put it in case it doesn't. And then the granite steps was something, Laura, you had put in a couple years ago. Bookmobile, I would keep as a placeholder because we don't know yet what we're going to do for outreach in terms of needing a vehicle to move materials around. The only two I've deleted from last year to this year is the granite sign, because trustees are thinking about paying for that, and the reader board, which is in process and will be complete soon. So I deleted those.
When are we getting our electric
HVAC?
sign?
Coming.
The HVAC? I printed it from last year.
Oh, that might be on another spreadsheet, but I can, sure. Because I have many spreadsheets and they're
placeholder?
major and minor. So-
Yeah, I just printed it from last year, and it's out at the 22-23
Yeah.
timeframe anyway.
Yeah.
So
Oh, so that's a placeholder.
Okay, so that's probably HVAC and sprinklers,
Mhm.
because I remember I did those
Right.
too. Anything else comes to mind?
Do we have a date for the reader board yet?
No, I do not. It's been ordered.
Have a what?
A date, the one that's gonna be put in?
The sign?
Yeah.
We don't have one yet.
No.
Electronic sign?
What? Yeah, I mean, well, we won't go there.
Okay. That would come off the CIP because we did take
Right.
care of the lead
Yeah,
board.
I'm
Okay.
deleting it. I'm not going to resubmit it.
wait, what's coming off?
Reader board?
it's,
Oh.
Granite
I
sign.
think I was looking at last year's and I'm like, oh yeah, that one comes off.
Anything else you want to add?
that I can
Anything
think
comes
of
to
off the top of my
mind?
head.
You got the elevator.
I just have a financial question or a money question. If something was, some portion was held for a particular project and you don't spend that full amount, that money just goes back into wherever?
It's in our budget. It gets put in our budget. When we do the budget this year, you'll see there's a section for the capital improvements. And, we've had the parking lot in it. We've had a roof restoration in it, and it shows up as a separate line.
Well, for the roof, don't we have a capital reserve fund put
Yes.
aside though? And that one, that's like a savings account, it doesn't go back.
I was
Well,
just thinking.
I mean, that's for any capital improvement. It's
Right.
roof, but it's
Yeah.
really anything.
Yeah, but that's like more like a savings account, it doesn't expire at the end of the year where tax dollars, we'd have to encumber them to keep them.
I was just trying to figure out if something didn't cost whatever we thought we were going to have to pay for it, then that's sort of extra money or money
It's
that
never
rolls
been
back.
under. It's never
Okay.
been under. It's,
Well,
I mean,
this
or
says
maybe it's never been
75
over.
for the leaderboard, and the leaderboard didn't cost $75,000.
Yeah, but it's off. So it only gets active. The all of the town departments put their requests in, and it's like this. It's so many years out, and then you know, Paul seems to be coordinating, you know, which ones to put forward, you know, speaking with me and saying, well, this is, you know, the windows, they really need to be fixed. You know, that's a priority for us. But, you know, he's sensitive to the tax rate and how our project versus the police project versus fire, I mean, it's all the departments, and trying to coordinate so that it's not a huge impact on the tax rate for the municipal side of the budget.
So it's not like it's sort of amorphous amounts of money, and it kind of.
It seems to be, you know, maybe for Paul it's less amorphous, but for us it seems to be, you know. When we did the roof restoration, we were under that estimation, and the trustees paid a certain amount in. So, you know, and then the parking lot, we had the right amount. So.
Thanks.
Mm.
I was getting excited thinking there was extra money.
This isn't actually money we have.
I
yet.
know.
This is money
Now
we're
I know.
planning to spend down the line. so,
Now I know.
Yeah.
But like in our 18-19 budget, we have 75,000 marked in the capital improvement line, or no, it's capital reserve line. Is that money that we will be spending this year on something? Or is that money that's getting put into our capital reserve fund for some future date?
I can ask Paul, because, you know, I can ask him if it reverts back to the town, because I mean, right now
Capital
we
reserve.
still have windows.
Yeah, the capital reserve wouldn't revert back. That stays in until we vote to dissolve it or vote to spend it.
Well, right now we have a window. I'm just thinking of the project, not the money.
Right.
Right
But
now, but-
there's no timeline on those
Mhm.
unless somebody votes to dissolve it at a certain point.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other questions about this?
So it's due at the end of the month. I mean, if you wanna, I have to submit this to Paul
Mm-hmm.
by the end of the month,
Okay.
Traffic out there.
because,
The
hmm?
children's room windows, it's down for 21, 22.
That is moving up to now, because Paul was speaking with an engineer from Turnstone and hoping to get a proposal for repair. And he didn't have one, so I don't have one for you. And I emailed him about this like Friday or something. You know, is insurance going to pay for part of it? That would be great. You know, I mean, there's still a lot of things a little up in the air with that, because I don't have a proposal. So,
So it's in process.
yes.
Okay, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that we need to add.
Do you want me to wait to send it, or send it tomorrow?
You're talking about the children's windows?
I'm talking about the CIP.
Oh, this.
The proposal
The whole
from
thing.
us.
With the one you added.
I wrote it, yeah, HVAC, and I'll check, because I have two spreadsheets. They're large and small, because we used to have the front door was on it.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, that
isn't
was-
that still
so-
there? With
Probably on the
steps?
minor.
Under minor?
Maintenance projects.
No,
I
it was
have
actually
seen
on
that
her, on Joanne's
with the steps.
long-term.
Mm-hmm.
It was with her long-term
Yeah.
list.
I was just going to ask about that, about the long-term building list. I have a short-term.
The slate roof repair,
Mm-hmm.
the granite steps, the railing, which I think you combined as one.
I thought the step and the railing would be together
They
because
were.
they're, yeah.
The large door, the storage tank in the ceiling, replace the railing with the handicap accessibility, inspect attic for water damage, install different shelving, address floor coverings.
Water damage where?
Attic.
That's the Lowell.
This was.
It's a
this is-
Lowell attic.
This is just what's on the long term. I'm not saying these were on CIP. This is just
Yeah.
the long term.
Yeah.
So,
And the storage tank, I thought that was going to be just removed and not replaced.
I would have to go find out an answer for you. I don't have an answer.
Okay.
Which storage tank is this?
in the mechanical room?
Like an oil tank?
No,
Oh, no.
I don't know what it is, some kind of tank. I thought it was going to be taken out and did not need to be replaced, but I'm not sure about that. So
Kinda like, I should walk into that.
anyways, it's not posing any danger
I think I
or
know,
problem,
okay, I
so,
think I know which one you're talking about, yeah.
yeah. Our folks,
Actually, I do have a question about the air leak in the,
In the sprinklers?
yes.
Yep,
it's still there?
yep,
So-
Is there something we have to do about that?
no.
No? Okay. The sprinklers will still
Some-
work?
Mhm.
Okay.
They're just so old that
Duct tape it.
nothing to fix.
Go downstairs and there's this
Sure.
whistle.
Well, that's true, they're outdated, so that you
Yeah.
can't even repair them
Right.
properly because of that. Okay. Any other comments or questions about this?
But you didn't answer, Yvette. Are we sticking with the list? Are we adding anything?
We added HVAC and sprinkler placeholder.
Okay, so are we good with that list?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Wonderful. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay.
I say yes.
So do we have a motion to add the HVAC
I
and
don't
the
think,
s-
I
We
don't
We
think you
don't
have to
need to add
vote, just
that?
tell me.
Okay, just tell you.
Because
okay.
it's there already, I just didn't print
Oh,
it
it
in the
is.
packet.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sure.
Okay.
That's
Now,
fine.
Who sets the timeline? Like, do you, are,
It's really a conversation with Paul, because he's sensitive to the tax rate,
absolutely.
and we haven't made a decision on a big renovation of our building. If we get to a decision about a big renovation of our building, then that's going to hit the slate roof, the sprinkler, HVAC, front door, granite. I mean, it's just going to hit everything. And all of this is moot.
Absolutely. Okay.
Right, so one step at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think the important thing about this is letting the town councilors, the finance director, the town manager know
Right,
what we're thinking about.
right,
That's the important part to me.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Any other comments or additions to this list?
I have a kind of a question. When you say that the town council,
Yeah.
that you want them to understand that we're thinking about this, we want them to understand that we are thinking that if the town decides to make a major move, or we decide to make a major move, a lot of the CIP will all be rolled up and taken care of at once?
No.
Or what, yeah,
What
what is
what
it?
I mean by that is when they're approving the budget and they're looking at our budget that we submit, they're going to look at the CIP that we submitted also,
Okay.
in with all the other town departments. If you attend the town meeting when Eileen presents it, it's fascinating. Well, I think it's fascinating. But, there's a lot of things to consider when you're looking at it from a town manager's point of view or the town council's point of view. So that's why there's this, which thing fits in best. What's urgent? Right now for us, the windows are urgent.
Okay.
So, when we're presenting our budget and they're understanding we're putting this budget in with this CIP, they understand that we are very interested in being good stewards of a town building. That's what I think.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Next.
Any more comments? Do we need to take a vote on? I
No.
didn't think so, so.
No,
We-
if
You agree that
if you
this
think
is
you're
ready
going to
to
think
be
of something
submitted?
like in
Yeah.
2 days,
With the addition of the HVAC and sprinkler, this can be submitted then.
that's fine.
Thank you. Okay. Treasurer's report.
Okay, I gave you guys 5 pieces of paper. One is a balance sheet that is very small, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to make that bigger.
Doesn't sound good.
The font is, it's small for me. But the rest aren't so bad.
Oh.
So, starting on the balance sheet, because that has all our assets listed.
This is ant size.
That's what I said.
The view of an ant.
Exactly. So under fines for August, our beginning balance was $10,849.11. The end of August our balance was $11,783.98. There is to go along with that balance sheet is our profit and loss for fines. If you want to see the details, you don't have to. It's there if you want to see it. And then, that's what I have to change. And then, oh. You know what? I printed out the wrong stuff. Well, because you can see under, oh no.
Which one are we looking at?
Well, I changed it. I'm now under special. It's written right. It's just not labeled correctly. Under special, we started as, the bank balance started at $8,047.03, and the ending balance is $13,098.32. That includes the DCU donation in this that we accepted tonight. And then you can see the savings accounts down below that we like.
What are you looking at? 'Cause I'm
The
not
balance
seeing-
sheet?
This one.
Yeah.
Where's the starting balance on this?
Right here.
Oh, there it is, okay.
Right there. And
Yeah, and it starts
then-
here. Okay, got it. Thank you.
And then the others, I did a profit and loss by month, just because we're now into, we have 2 months, but I added June. So we have June, July, and August, just for comparison. That's it.
Very thorough.
Yeah, I printed the wrong one though, so I'm annoyed. It's okay. So they're for you to look at, if you want to look at. That's the detail. There you are.
Any comments or questions about the treasurer's report? No?
August is slow with all the summer reading.
Okay. I hear a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
We need to.
We don't need to vote on that. That's right, we don't. Why am I? See, now I've gone the other way. Vote on everything.
Yes, as long as you give us a chance to actually vote.
Moving on. No more comments about the treasurer's report.
I don't think so.
We have the operating budget, which I just had in my hand. Any comments about that? I just had that in my hand. No, I didn't. Really, it's just the operating expenses, pretty much.
I looked at it, I think there it is. Say, no, I printed it.
Any comments about that?
Well, you should be looking at the general ledger
That's
and then
what-
the detail of the invoices.
That's behind this. This, they're reflective of the, yes, okay. This goes with the town budget, okay,
Mhm.
gotcha.
Yes. You know what, maybe that can answer my question from before.
How come Comcast is spread out in like 3 different,
There's different, we have different types of internet. We have a staff side, we have a public side.
oh,
It's different.
I have a question about the encumbered money for library materials.
Mhm.
Just, it's more of a, I'm just lost. So, is that money already spent? Or is there something that we have an idea of that we're going to spend it on something, we just haven't done it yet? Or, I'm lost on that.
It's spent and holding.
Spent and holding. Okay. So it has been spent, we're just waiting for the bill?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The arms, the monitor arms you purchased, how are they working out?
Fine. You know, I haven't heard anything really. You know, it's an opportunity to turn the monitors around, so a patron, if you come to me and you're like, I wanna look for this, then I can help you, and I could just start typing. And then you're gonna get really aggravated at me because I have not communicated with you.
Yeah.
And you're like, did you hear me? So the better way is to go, sure, let me show you what I'm doing. And I used to work in a library where we worked on Macs, and you could turn, the monitors were on an arm, there was a base and an arm, like a neck. And you could turn it and go, let me show you what I'm doing. So here's the catalog, and I'm gonna type it in this way, because I can teach you how to do it. You know, and some people don't care, but it's always nice to include someone
Right.
in what you're doing.
Right.
So the patron understands that I heard you,
Right.
you know.
Do you
and-
anticipate purchasing more then?
It's up to each department about how they work. You know, the Boston Public Library has 2 monitors, and they face, you know, back to back. So that's one way to do it. So it's a dual, you know, it's a mirrored screen.
Yeah.
And they turn it on, and then you just see exactly what they see.
Mhm.
You know, it depends on the department, because if you have a patron who's coming around into staff space to look over your shoulder, that's not the best way to serve them. So therefore, having a monitor to
Right.
turn around is better. At circulation, there's no way for someone to come around, and it's quite a large arm. It's pretty big. So it doesn't actually work at Circ. But Circ tends to talk a patron through, what am I doing?
Yeah, they
You
do.
know.
Yeah.
So each department had the opportunity to say yes or no if they wanted it.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Thank you for breaking that down. It helps explain where things are going.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and I know you want to get it earlier, so we'll just work on that for next time.
I like this. I don't know about the rest of you, but I like looking through this.
Yeah, I do.
The money people like it.
It's just
No,
bills.
I think it makes sense, but it's real.
It's very good.
Exactly.
No, it puts
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it.
a description to where the money's going, and
Oh, then
no, no, I
Well-
feel like I know more when I see that
Exactly.
information.
I think the benefit
Makes it
really
more real.
is.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good description
I
of it,
I
yeah.
put it in your packet.
You can appreciate.
Yeah.
Okay, this is
Exactly.
where the money went, or this is where money really needs to
Exactly.
go, and this is why it goes there.
And I think we appreciate it because it helps build a bigger picture for us, so we have a better understanding of how things are operating.
Yeah. it's
Really.
Just
So thank you.
bills.
Yeah.
Just paying the bills.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Any
kind of like
further-
when mom and dad give you an allowance. You know? Now they want you to see where the money went. See, you could learn that this is much for gas, this much for that. You don't want
Any
to
other
just spend that money on just any old thing.
Any other comments about the,
Operating budget.
general ledger? Year-end expenditures we had touched on.
You skipped over that, but
Yes, I did.
I printed it out, and, you know,
There's some of that still waiting.
yes. Yes. I mean, it's only September.
Yeah,
And, you know, we estimate this is what it's gonna cost. For example, everyone complains about the chairs in my office around the table.
oh,
Okay, everyone except Laura and me complain about the chair, that they're very uncomfortable.
well, they're
Um,
small.
I don't know, they're uncomfortable, and I'm
They
like,
fit the space.
so we put in, okay, let's get Yvette new chairs, because everyone except Laura and Yvette don't like these chairs. So we went out, we found chairs, and Joanne, Joanne went to buy them, and the vendor said, no, you have to buy like 100 chairs, or 20 chairs. I mean, you have to buy, you can't just buy 8 chairs. And I was like, okay, so obviously all this time we spent looking at this particular vendor for these chairs. Now we have to start over and look again.
Okay.
So there's little things like that we do. But, the monitor arms were on this. New computer monitors, the book drop pad, privacy screens, some of these
Book drop pad, meaning the concrete pad?
Yes. Yeah, because DPW did that for us, but we were paying for material.
Okay,
But a lot of this, Joanne manages this, and some things are waiting for space study, new desk for children's room, waiting for space study, which is what we're doing right now.
right.
So we just work off this list, and when she does something in it, it changes color. I mean, I could pass this around if you want to see it. I didn't know if you wanted.
Color-coded, oh, how fun.
Of course, it's color coded. Makes it easier to see.
Thank you.
Sure.
It also is helpful for us to see the big picture.
Yeah, we
and to
just
be refreshed about
we're
what's-
just
what is going
trying
on.
to move on these projects,
You are juggling many things at the same time.
juggling many things. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Which ball is going to fall?
Hopefully not of them.
I will pass this to you first, because I know that you would like to look at that. Okay, I think we covered everything under the operating budget, the year-end expenditures, the ledger, the monthly invoices. Any other comments about any of these items? No? Jeannie?
No, I was good.
Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, the director's report.
Okay. So I included a list from the department heads. I should have included a list from the department
Trying to
heads
manage paper.
of summer reading. Okay, it looks like a letter
It does.
on letterhead for you. That's the first thing. These are the final list of things that were donated to the library for summer reading.
Right.
And it's summer reading prizes for both the adult and youth services programs.
Very wonderful donations.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah. So usually at the end of the summer, I ask them to compile a list. So you might have accepted some of these earlier in the summer, but just in case, it might be a repeat. We don't want to miss something that was donated.
Right.
Is Launch the one that's in the old Shaw's Plaza now?
No, that's
No.
altitude.
It's a different, it's
Oh, that's a different-
it's a competitor.
Oh,
What,
Yeah, I
what
don't
did, yeah,
remember
what
the
did you
name
ask?
of that one.
trampoline park, because in the plaza that they just started building there,
Yeah.
there's a trampoline park there.
Oh,
I was asking if Launch was the one that was there, no? There's gonna be
Okay.
another ice cream place there too.
another ice
Words.
cream place.
Yeah.
We're just.
Hayward Farms.
Goodness, can't
From
have too
I'm
many.
trying to decipher your tone. Is that a good
Just saying,
tone?
it's-
Or are you
Uh,
anti-ice cream?
No, I love ice cream,
Okay.
but
Well,
I
there's
mean,
King Cone.
There's
and
gonna be another
Axel's
ice cream
and
place
yeah,
in
there are
town.
ice cream places in town now. It's
They'll
gonna be
make 3
yeah,
on
the
Daniel.
Battle of the Ice Cream.
Right.
Merrimack's favorite ice cream parlor.
Not a bad thing.
It's always been Axel's versus King Cone.
Yeah,
And it's physically between the two.
that's,
I know, it's right dead in the center.
it's gonna be interesting.
We could do a taste test.
Scientific study, gather data.
We did that when my family lived in Durham. We did a taste test of all the pizza parlors because there were so many.
Oh, no kidding.
No, but we bought all this pizza. It was like, okay, all the pepperonis. I know this is a dumb tangent. Okay, so can you vote?
I'll
To
make the
accept-
motion to accept the gift.
I just have one question.
Mm.
The $300, basically from the Friends of the Library.
Yes.
The 300 for the kickoff concert and the 300 towards prizes and programs. Was that? I did not find that donation.
Okay, I could go find out.
Okay.
I mean, off the top of my head, I know nothing,
Okay.
so I'll find out.
I remember them voting on that.
What's the 400 donation to the United Way? We donated to
That
the
was at the,
United Way?
no, the Friends of the Library, if the
Do you want all the
kids in Merrimack accomplish a certain number of reading hours, they have we set a goal for them, then the Friends will make a donation to a charity, a local charity that they've decided on.
Oh,
And it's
so
kind of an
it's with
incentive for the
children.
kids,
Yeah, okay.
you know,
Nice idea. Okay. Alrighty.
So it's, if you
So
add this all up, it's,
Well,
the
that's-
Friends are donating
that's
$1,000.
It's passed out.
Oh, okay, I thought we had some
We've seen
just
that
before,
before.
yeah.
Six
Yeah,
and
we've seen
four.
it before. It's just,
But-
that's the updated version.
Oh, okay.
You said that you've never seen
I
300
didn't
of
find the 300. I didn't find any. I found down at the bottom under adult services, I found the 276, but I didn't find the 600 that would have gone to the library, and then the 400 never came to us anyway. So
well, the 400 went to the United Way, went out.
Right.
right
From the Friends
so
out.
but we don't need
That wouldn't
Yeah,
show
we
up
that
don't
wouldn't
have-
show
yeah.
in our
that was
budget.
something we don't have to
No.
do. Right.
We're doing right now?
Yeah.
So the 300 of prizes and programs is probably little bits and pieces that happen to add up.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have I don't have the Friends Treasurer's Report, which is where all of that detail would show also.
Okay. So it's not just like a $300
Gosh, no.
towards.
No, it doesn't work that way. The department heads submit a letter requesting a certain amount of funds for programs or prizes, and it's a detailed list that looks, it's a
Yeah.
detailed list for programs.
Yeah.
And then they vote on it, and it totals whatever it totals.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Great.
Any other comments about the donations? Do we have a motion to accept the gifts?
I'll remake the motion to accept the gifts.
Second? All in favor? Okay, done.
Okay. Michelle Rica submitted her resignation as Adult Services part-time aide on August 25th. That was right after your meeting. She accepted a full-time position elsewhere. Her last day was on September 13th. And you can vote to accept her resignation.
I motion we accept Michelle's resignation, Michelle Rica's resignation.
With regrets.
You second it?
I'll second it.
Approve? Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Laura, I'm going to pass this
Yeah,
to you to
I
sign.
see that. Thank you. Just one?
Yes. Michelle took her copy, and we have to submit it to the town, and we submit it, if it's a time crunch and I haven't seen you, then we submit it to them, and then she'll get the signed one tomorrow
Okay.
for their files. Do you want to see her letter? I have her letter if you want to see her letter. We've posted 2 openings at the library. We've got an opening for an adult services part-time library assistant 1. That is Michelle's job. This position has been called a lot of different, like 2 different things at least in the time that I've been at the library. And Joanne and Brendan and I reviewed it, and based on the responsibilities, especially being a key holder and closing the building, we felt that it was probably best to settle on one of the titles that have been used in the past. And this was the one that made the most sense. So,
May I ask, where do you post them?
we posted on the state library website. There's a job line. We posted on our website. I don't think I have this one on the bulletin board at the library. I do have the youth services page 8 is on the bulletin board at the library, but that's also on our website, and then it goes on the state library. So that's open for a couple of weeks, and then we'll have our interviews. We will be posting the circulation page. If you remember, this is a position that was budgeted for in this budget.
Mhm.
So I think I submitted to you the job description if you want to look at it.
I don't, oh, that's nice.
Job description?
Was that the last meeting that you gave us a job?
No,
No.
no.
Is this a new job description?
We've had this position before, but not in recent years.
So you had to update the job description?
Jen updated it.
Yeah. Didn't see that.
This was budgeted in our budget. It's budgeted at the 878 as opposed to the 975.
Okay. The range that I looked at was in the 975. So. I don't have my range sheet with me, but
Is that the most up-to-date one?
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is not the key holder. This is
No.
the other one.
No.
Right,
No.
Gotcha.
Oh, got it, okay.
Oh, here's this?
Give that to Yvette.
okay. I'm gonna write on it. Okay, so we're gonna
Okay, yes.
post that.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, and I
Oh,
noticed
yeah.
you had the staff recognition.
Right, so
I knew we did something with this.
this is probably something you want to look at and discuss sometime. I don't know if it's something you want the personnel committee to talk about, or, I'm sure you want to think about it and not just discuss it on the fly.
Right.
Do you need this?
So does the personnel committee want to take that on?
Oh, this was you.
Oh, that's not me.
Oh, this one.
Oh, two.
That's not my Janet. or
Did we
me, Janet.
we got a
It's the other-
plaque for
it's the-
Lee.
Yes,
Yes.
the
it's
director
in the
Janet.
library.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, 2011.
Oh, here it is. I have it.
Okay.
What is that?
What?
She printed
Is
it
that
different.
this?
No.
I
Let me
I
see.
must
Wait
be
a
missing a
minute.
piece of paper here.
It's the same.
Hold on, I'm trying
That's
to
what,
make
how it
something.
came through on my
It's the
computer.
same information.
Okay, just in a different,
Yeah.
Printed different.
showed up on this little box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Information.
So this, the amounts on top are what, how it currently stands,
Yep.
yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember talking about this in the past. I truly do.
Okay. Yep.
Do we need to have any discussion about this right now, or can we think
Well,
about this and come back?
No,
or-
well,
Sleep on it.
Yvette's comment is that the personnel committee just review it and maybe put it in something that's a little bit more formal.
So Karen and I would, okay.
Sort of as a suggested guideline, so that it's not cut in concrete, we can change it.
Okay,
So the personnel committee,
Karen and I, yeah,
okay.
okay, yeah, we could go to meet
Yeah,
next
I
week or the
mean-
week after.
You had voted, I guess it was the August meeting, a certain amount for Lee,
Yes.
for her 25,
Yeah.
which was lower than 20.
No,
Did we?
Yeah, I think it
Oh,
was.
no, it
was
wasn't
lower.
lower.
Yeah, it
I
was.
thought it was,
I think
It
we
was like
said,
60, I think.
did we say
Yeah.
100?
I thought it was
Maybe.
$100
But I
to
thought that
include
included
the
the
plaque.
gift card.
$100.
And it
and the
included the
plaque.
plaque.
The
And
plaque
that,
and the gift card.
The plaque is a little plate that goes on a
Yeah, we
big.
didn't know what it was. We
I didn't,
didn't,
I know, I wasn't
the
there,
name,
but
yeah,
yeah.
but then it was,
But we voted for the gift card. 75 anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, we said
included it all in one
75.
amount.
75.
are you looking at minutes? Because I looked, Joanne and I both looked at minutes and it didn't say that.
It
was
didn't?
like
It was,
50, and we were trying to puzzle and interpret and,
okay.
Oh,
But yeah, now
That was a
I do remember, but,
miscommunication
yeah, I
then.
don't remember the amount.
I thought we voted 100.
well, that included the plaque, and we weren't sure the cost of that.
Oh.
the plaque it's a little plate and it's like $14.
Okay, see that, we didn't have
I
that
know,
information.
I know.
That's the one that's in the hallway downstairs,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was a separate one as well.
No.
Okay. So the Personnel Committee will look into this.
Yeah, I have to find it. 22.
Any other discussion about this, so we can move on?
Does that mean that she didn't
Okay.
get what we would
And
recommend?
then we
She
can
got-
make,
She got what we thought you said in the meeting,
Okay.
okay.
because I have July.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
So she got a 50?
Yeah.
Is what she got?
And this is June.
Oh,
She shouldn't.
Oh, here, yeah. Up to 100 for a $50 certificate and plaque. But we
Yeah.
don't do a plaque.
okay, see, that was our confusion. So maybe the Personnel Committee could make a recommendation on how to
Yeah,
rectify
let me-
that?
Just let me know.
Yeah,
We'll meet next week or the week
because
after.
we want to be
We'll coordinate
consistent.
schedules.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
For what?
To,
Yeah, we'll meet next
This-
week. Yeah,
to
right,
put together a formal proposal on the amounts.
yeah.
Okay.
she got a $50 gift card to something of her choice. Not that it matters. I think we should do another 25 for her.
I
Oh,
think
we do too. We're just going to let the Personnel Committee handle
We-
that, no?
Oh,
We
we
could
need
do
to vote
that
on it.
now, right?
Well,
Do you want to vote on that now?
Well, the $100, yeah, well,
We could do that. We could just vote on, and just do it.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
I make a motion to add another $25 to a gift card for Lee for her 25 years of employment and duties and diligence
Do I
towards
hear a
the
second?
library.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, that's done.
Okay, I will take care of that.
There's no point in forestalling it, is there?
Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay. So we received a New Hampshire Humanities grant for $250 for Glen Knobloch Brewing in New Hampshire. And you can vote to accept the total.
Okay, I'll make the motion
Or
to
you can
accept.
vote to accept that we received this grant.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to accept the 250 we received in the grant.
Second. All in favor? Okay.
So the building and maintenance list?
What does the red represent on this?
Hmm?
What does the red represent? There's a
I don't
couple,
know.
Like random words in red here.
That's Joanne
I just added.
doing it. Do you have any questions about?
Maybe the red is what she changed since the last time we saw it.
what are you looking at?
I still have a question about the sprinkler system, because if it's just replacing the heads, why can't just the heads be replaced?
I have to go back to the library and ask that question. I don't know the answer to that right now.
On the surface, it doesn't sound, it sounds like a simple thing, but I don't know if that is or not.
Okay.
Would it be
Because they've been on the list a
safe
long
to assume
time.
that if that, are you concerned that they won't work correctly?
Well, she's had it on here a long time, and I don't know, does that mean that there's a problem, or are they just due for normal maintenance? If they are, then is that a simple thing, or, I don't know. Or is it a complex thing? I don't know.
Could be like one of those systems on the car where, you have to
Yeah,
replace that little
is it
piece,
going
but
to
it
affect
comes
something
as
else if it's
an
not
entire
done?
system that you gotta replace altogether.
I'm sorry, which one?
The
they
sprinkler
get you.
system. On the building, it's
Yeah,
on
I
the
got it.
building list. Okay,
Okay, I'll find out.
thank you.
Yeah.
You presented the Primex list.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, any
No.
information
No.
regarding this?
No.
Okay.
No. Nope.
But they're working with Primex on some of their recommendations.
Paul asked for a proposal from Turnstone to address these
And
items.
Turnstone is,
Turnstone is the company that's building the highway garage.
oh, okay.
So they were on site. I don't have the date off the top of my head, but I drove up to I happened to arrive early one day, and it was like 8:30, and Paul was there with one of the engineers who he had brought down to the project, and they were looking at the windows and the gully and the drain and the street drain and talking about it, and we were probably out there for an hour and a half talking about that and the back door. Because the water was coming in
Yes.
the north door.
Yeah.
So any fix is going to be complicated. Any fix, making an adjustment to the door, there's so many little things that have to be approved by the fire marshal because it's an exit. So they kind of hashed out what if. It was so many possible scenarios they were discussing. It's just write the best proposal.
Right, okay.
So,
So it's being followed up on,
yeah, but it's urgent because Primex wants us to do it.
right,
So,
right.
I'm not sure what you want me to highlight in terms of the department updates. The space study, since I'm involved, that's my department. We had a meeting this morning with one of the consultants, Molly Allen, and she presented, this is probably now the 4th floor plan that I've seen, and she presented to some of the staff, and they had a lot of questions in terms of where would we have story time? Where would we store the tables? Where would we, how would this, and that's the point of talking to the staff, because they talked to me, they talked to some outside stakeholders, and then, they talked to Paul McCallie and Bill Cummings on the Development Fund, just to get kind of a big, wide view, and then talked to me mostly about the strategic plan, and our goals of what that study, what that whole process showed us that the public would like. And then they interviewed the department heads, because that's more like, circulation works with tech services and with adult services. So in terms of proximity, they should remain close. Children's and teen are in one department, and they're staffed by the same staff. It's not 2 separate departments. So how do you, right now, children's is downstairs and teen is outside of my office, very far away. They talked a lot about proximity. They talked a lot about, this version that we saw today, which is going to be different when you see it, had additional restrooms for the public, had small study, like single study rooms, 2-person study rooms, still had a big meeting room, the same size as the clump room. The children's services was on the main floor, kind of where the windows are to, like, the reference study tables. It doesn't matter what I'm describing because it's going to change again. Because now the staff is going, what if? They were already starting to, let's flip this, which is what they're supposed to do because they work in the building. So they're going to look at it and write Post-it notes and questions and concerns for a week. Jared was there, and he's going, well, that's not going to work because that's a load-bearing wall. Okay, let's cross that one off. So it's those kind of things where I'm looking at it in one way, and then the department heads are looking at it in their own little silos, and
From their lens, yeah.
yeah. So it'll go back to the drawing board.
You
At least
mentioned-
once,
Okay.
I don't know how many times it's going to go back to the drawing board until it's something that makes sense to tell you, because right now it's work questions. Where are we going to store this? And you guys don't know that we store tables, necessarily, or how we take our packages in. You probably know we take packages in of deliveries, but you don't really
I don't know the
care
details.
about but the staff do. We need to know about where the bags are going to move and how they're going to move, and when they're going on and off the van and stuff.
You
So.
mentioned stakeholders.
Yes, that was her process. That was what they said.
Stakeholders.
She wanted to have people who were not in the library and not board members, but who had a positive, who wanted a positive future for the library. So I thought, well, let's get someone from the Development Fund Committee on, because they are a board, but they're not governing this library. So Bill Cummings, who's the president of that, came, and he's a long-term resident. So he had some interesting things to say. And then Paul McCallie, who's involved with, all the building projects in town, also long-time resident, had a lot of really interesting things to say and offer. It was fascinating. Really neat, yeah. So that's, it's in the middle of it, and now the staff get to ask a lot of questions, about how they do their work. And does this version work for them, and where does it not work for them? So, yeah.
Okay, so it's progressing.
It's progressing, and there's no hard and fast timeline. I'd like it to move as fast as possible, of course, but,
But that's
we'd
the
rather have it done
current
correctly.
interior floor plan.
I'm sorry?
This is involving the current interior.
Yes, so this is called a fit study. So they're using our existing building and seeing if they could rearrange departments and add things based on their interviews, like a small study space.
Yeah, I was like amazed at all the things that were in the list, thinking, wow, we
Oh,
could
yeah.
get all those things in there. That's cool.
Well, that was the discussion this morning, because it was like, well, have you measured square footage for books for shelving? And it's like, no, that's the next deeper level to do that. This is kind of like what do you think about this? And then what do you give up if you want to have? Joanne was bringing up, where are we going to sort books for the book sale? Because we sort them in the stairwell. We're not supposed to sort. It's not the ideal place to sort them, but we still are. How is it going to change book sales? Well, the Friends are going to take over book sales, so I don't know. But right now it's, what's the trade-off? Because we're trying to serve the public with the things that have been outlined in a strategic plan to do, and where book sales are really high priority for that. Book sales are necessary. It's how we, move along things that we've discarded or weeded. But should we design a building around a book sale? You can decide to say, we want to build a room on somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's when we bring in an architect to say, we want to have a perpetual Friends book sale room. Fine, but
Is that the best use of that space?
I don't know. So it's really, that question came up, and it was like, have at it, guys.
Okay.
So yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, I'm glad it's still being
Oh, no,
rolled
we're-
over. Yeah.
We're moving along.
Any questions about the space study from anybody?
Oh, you guys are gonna have fun when you see it, because then it's your turn to go.
I'm getting
What
excited
about?
for it,
What
actually.
about?
Yeah, maybe a separate meeting
I
to
really
look
am.
at it.
Yeah.
She would come to one of your meetings, and it might be that you have it during the day, or
Say, how detailed is it? Is it gonna take, like she said, do we need another meeting, because it's gonna take too long to go over?
we had it for an hour this morning. We had it for an hour and like 10 minutes. So yeah, maybe.
Would she present it and expect questions from us at the same time, or would we?
That's a great question. I don't
See it.
know. I
Might
think it
be.
depends on you guys.
Might be worth having the meeting in the library so we could walk around and actually see the things in the report
Sure.
firsthand,
Yeah.
Okay. It's up to you. You know.
visualize it a little bit
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
Passport agency status, you're doing your training.
I am in my spare time.
So when the training is done, is that when?
Then we go to the next.
Oh, then there's
So
Lots
you
of
got
another
at
next
least,
levels.
you got approved.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
want to have libraries be passport acceptance facilities. Yes. Oh, yes. And the online training are it's 12 modules of, here's all the many forms possible to
Okay.
say you're going to have this. Not my favorite way to take a class. I'm working my way through it.
Wow, 10 hours, that's a lot.
Wow. It's a lot. It is a lot
It is a
for
lot. Yeah.
looking at a screen.
So it's just gonna
It's an
be, it must be
important
more
piece
than you
of-
and Brendan
They need to have 2 people initially.
initially, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna extend, yeah.
We'll see.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And you had your,
We had our mental illness
yeah.
first aid training.
was that good?
It was excellent.
Oh, good,
It was really excellent. Yeah.
glad to hear that.
Mm-hmm. The MPD, the police training, we're waiting to schedule that now that the officer's back. He was on disability. And then, we've been talking, this actually came up in town where there's an anonymous donor who donated some money to the school for children who are homeless. Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No,
Oh, this is
They
big.
said their
It's a
public
big
hearing
deal. It was in the
last night for it.
paper.
oh,
Yeah,
Do
I mean,
tell.
it just seemed to parallel the kind of conversations we've been having in the library because there are people who are homeless in Merrimack, and it might be not a large population, but it is a population. And as a library, we're committed to serving anyone who comes in the doors. We have to think about where are we appropriately serving, and can we redirect someone to the welfare office or different services that exist in town, but as long as someone abides by our code of conduct, it's fine. Right now there are some court cases going on in, there was a sweep in Concord. There was a tent city and the police were doing a sweep, and it can compromise someone's rights if they do a sweep. I think it's the Fifth Amendment right. But if someone doesn't have a permanent home, they shouldn't be penalized or marginalized because they don't have a permanent home. Where I put my stuff, there's different legal definitions, and I don't have them here, but there are different legal definitions for abandoned property or, other kinds of property that are just put down for a minute, with the intention of coming back to get it.
right.
That's
right.
not abandoned. That's just, left.
Mm.
So.
Okay,
But our goal is, we're serving our patrons.
okay.
Yeah.
Investigate Citizen Bank credit card?
Wait. Wait.
So the
I'm sorry.
court case was about the tents themselves, or was it about
It
the
was
fact they were
about-
camping in the ground?
It was about, you have to give someone a warning. I'm going to be back in a week to tell you to leave. You can't just
Well, it's
take
kinda like a
someone's
big-
personal
was it-
property.
So it was about the property. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah,
okay.
even if I don't have a home to put
Yeah.
my stuff, it's my stuff, and I have a right to my stuff.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna be a problem. If somebody leaves their stuff in the library, we put it in lost and found until they come back.
That's a big debate. How long do we keep it in the lost and found? Usually it's lost, it's never found. We never really thought about it. I mean, you put something in a lost and found box, and then it's like, geez, this is still here. I mean, you don't think about it, but it's also property that's left on the outside premises. That's more of a question, because I am not allowed to touch anyone's property. If I see it outside, I can't touch it and put it in my lost and found box. That's not appropriate.
Even if it's left at the library. So if
That's-
somebody leaves, say, a bike parked up against the front of the library and it's there for 2 days.
I can call the police and say, can you remove this? I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to make us liable for touching anything. We're not
Okay.
gonna touch it. You know, and then you have to say how long, you know, legally, how long is something gonna be parked at the library?
Yeah, there could be a whole
Until you
debate to
decide it's
itself, so
legally
I won't get
abandoned.
into that tonight, but that's interesting.
Well, right now, we have cars that use our lot.
Yeah, I know we've had cars that have
Sure,
been found
but is
overnight,
that-
parked overnight and everything.
Sure, but is that someone who's a neighbor? Should they be in our lot? Our lot's closed. This is not library business. Could I say this is abandoned? I could if I was in a certain mood, but
Well, I thought
You
the
know.
town didn't want any cars parked in any town parking lots
Yeah.
overnight.
yes, that's true. That's true. So should I call the police every single time one of our neighbors uses our lot and pull the police away from something else? I mean, they do sweep. You know, they drive through. They're watching. You know, they're watching for suspicious activity or if someone's hurt, you know.
Okay.
So is that
Yeah.
a state case or a federal case?
I believe it's a state case.
I'm curious to see what comes of it then.
Yeah. Yeah, but I had some email discussions with other urban libraries saying, you know, you have a higher population, what are you doing? You know, and it depends on what the town ordinance is. We don't have a town ordinance against sleeping on a public bench. You know, there isn't one. So
Wait, do any of
do what you
our
want.
policies cover abandoned property in the library?
I would not add it. I think that's a legal can of worms that we are not
That's what I'm
prepared to
just
get
wondering.
to.
Okay.
I mean,
like I
it
said,
says
I
don't
don't
leave
think
your
we want
things
that.
unattended. Unattended and
That's what I'm
abandoned is
thinking
very
of. Yeah,
different.
unattended.
You know, if you leave it unattended, you might get something stolen out of there,
Yeah.
you
that's what I
know,
was thinking.
and that's not our responsibility in the library.
Somebody
It's
could
different.
forget
There is a
to
legal definition, yeah.
Abandoning something.
Yeah.
Any other comments about this issue?
I don't think
Can we
wanna
move
open a
on?
Can of words. Yeah,
The
no.
privacy fence is up.
Yeah,
The
it's hard.
dumpster, now that the grass is growing,
Yeah,
the
it
I
looks
saw
dumpster
like
is
it
gonna
going
get.
up. I haven't
Yeah.
seen,
It's
I
up
didn't
and the
notice it
grass
when I
is
came
growing.
by.
Yeah, but the privacy fence is up. That was installed this week, I guess, and the dumpster's going to be moved back. DPW is going to move that back for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
And by the way, the October 25th event here that Brandon listed sounds very exciting. Capital crime of witchcraft.
Okay.
It's gonna be right there. That's gonna be on my calendar. That sounds very exciting.
Oh, it's back in adult services.
Yeah,
Oh.
sounds very exciting.
Is there a spot to talk about the anniversary party?
Yes. Because I want to know who's going to be there. How can I put you
I
to
wanted
work?
to know, should we have known when it was already?
It's on the 23rd.
But it hadn't been published anywhere else,
September
right?
23rd?
Yes. It's on the website. We've got flyers out. You know, I think we decided on the date maybe a month ago. It was a little bit late in terms of how we normally do programming, but
This is,
Did you talk about it in the director's report?
no.
this is for Lee.
No, this is for the
Oh, the
125th.
125. I thought that was going to be on a Sunday.
This
It
the
is.
birthday
Oh,
party.
it's
The
the 23rd
23rd is
Sunday?
a
It's this
I'm
Sunday.
sorry.
This Sunday.
This
25th.
Sunday?
Yeah, that's why I wondered
What
if I
time
missed something somewhere.
what time
2 to
is it?
6,
2 to
right?
6? Yeah, I think I have it on my calendar.
What are we doing? Or is it a surprise?
No. What are we doing? We have the state librarian, Michael York, is going to come to speak at 2 o'clock for 5 to 10 minutes.
Wait, the 25th you said? That's
23.
Tuesday. Oh, 23rd. What did you say? Okay. Thank you.
We have a live band. We have,
Outside?
yes. We have a weather contingency plan.
Where's the parking?
It's going to be at Town Hall. What else do we have going on? Games outside, 3D printer demos, video games, and a tech petting zoo in the clump room, refreshments, tours of the library. I think that's everything.
What time does it start and what time does it end?
So the library's going to open at 1, our normal hours. Bob Bardis from WSMN 1590 Nashua is going to be on site broadcasting live from 1 to 3. And official party things start at 2 and then go till 6.
That's not one of those things where we have to authorize the library to be open at a special
No,
time.
you don't.
That just, yeah.
I usually open and close. That's my responsibility, to open and close the library.
Do you want us to be there for the entire event or portions
I-
of the event?
I would ask you, when do you want to, if you're able to come?
Oh, we'll be there.
As far as I know.
Okay.
Of course, to celebrate.
I don't know.
You're so definitive. Oh, we'll be there.
Of course.
Okay.
We'll celebrate.
'Cause I don't know what your schedules are like.
Well, I will be there, but I won't be there at the beginning because I work that morning. But
Okay.
I'll be there.
So if you want to send me your times, unless you know right now that I'll be there by 11, starting to set up.
Do you need help setting
Yeah,
up?
that's what it's-
What I do need, I found out we had a meeting yesterday. I need servers for food. If you want to walk around with a tray of food and chat
I get a
people
special
up.
apron.
Actually, I have
Jacket with tails.
I have a button. I have a button for you that says birthday squad.
Oh, that's cute.
Nice.
So you can be identified as a trustee,
Okay.
as a VIP.
Yeah, just
Um,
I think that would be kind of cool.
Do we wear a library
You know, like,
t-shirt?
go around.
Yes, actually, if you have a library T-shirt, we're all going to be wearing library T-shirts.
Is that like a formal, or is that like the ones we use at the
Should we all
parade,
wear
or
the
is
same
there
ones or just
a
whatever
more?
one?
Do you have a library T-shirt with a logo?
Purple one.
You have purple.
That would have been the previous 4th of July, right? We just had like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause this year was the library rocks.
right.
Yeah.
But the previous year had more,
Yeah,
it was more,
just.
It's like-
had our name on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Blue.
I'm not sure what
Yeah, it was
that
kind of a
one
Blue.
turquoisey
Yeah.
blue, yeah.
It's gray.
Laura, did you want to say a few words at the event?
Of course.
I will tell you your time slot the day of.
I get a time slot.
Yes, you do.
Oh, my goodness.
But do you need people to say, I will be there at 3 to do this serving thing?
Yeah, if you want to look at your schedule and just tell me when you can be there, that's
Yeah, I'll
fine.
check my schedule when I get home
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
I need to find
Well,
a
knowing
jacket with
that I'm
tails.
really bad at doing that, I'm going to tell you 3 p.m. right now.
For real?
Yeah, for real. Because if I don't do it now, I will not remember to do it.
Okay, we'll put you to work.
But do you want me to come late? I mean, I'd probably be there earlier anyways, but do I definitely need there before 3 p.m.?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, moving along. Any other discussion about this topic? We hope everyone will be there at some point during the day to help us celebrate. We invite everybody to come. Okay. What happened to my agenda?
Other
I'm
business.
just curious.
Got
Is
lost
that
underneath
the
the
kind
other-
of event you would expect police to be there to direct something, or only if there's like a crazy amount of people?
No, no.
That's my agenda too.
Hopefully
Okay.
the crowd doesn't get that rowdy.
I just was, I don't know where somewhere else I had to figure that out. Wasn't.
Going to move on to other business. The first item is policies. You have the gifts and memorial you sent us?
Yeah, this was something I guess I gave you in July,
Yeah, I
which
remember we read this
I
once.
think you tabled. So just to give you kind of an idea of the kinds of gifts that we have received in the past, we have memorial plants on the property. We have bowls, Jennifer's bowls, that were created out of a memorial tree. Once we received a Wii system. This was a couple years ago. We received a Wii system. In the past, we've received yarn for crochet projects, random craft supplies. Sometimes we get older equipment or office supplies.
I just had one question under monetary gifts. Monetary contributions will be accepted if conditions attached are acceptable to the library board of trustees. The terms of agreement will be developed by the donor, library director, and board of trustees. That threw me just a little bit.
I'm going to give you $1 million if.
If there's strings attached to the donation.
You will spend it for,
I'm going to give you $1 million if you also put a sign up in neon with my face. And we're going to go, heck
So
no,
it's-
that's,
it's
no,
as-
we
It's
don't,
as simple as what it
thanks,
is.
but no thanks.
Would that need to be reviewed by an attorney?
This is, we didn't make a lot of changes to this policy. This policy, was created back in '94.
Okay.
We added the red because of specific
to the
things that we
library
needed to, yeah.
On page 2, the top line where it should be plates of cookies, not plants of cookies, I assume, right?
Boy, but that would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it?
Plants
We
of
always
cookies.
invite,
Yes.
yeah, we always invite food.
Nice.
I'll totally take a cookie plant or an ice cream plant.
so can I go back to your monetary gifts area? So there's monetary gifts with something attached to them, and then there's just monetary gifts, which is a separate category. Could someone just not give us money for, and not put in
I think,
stipulations
it
on
depends on the donor. It depends on the donor.
It's like even our trust,
Mm-hmm.
or the town trust, they have, we're donating $5,000 to be put in a trust to only spend the income, but we want it spent on children's books.
Mm-hmm.
So it only goes towards children's books.
Wait, but if I walked in and said, here's $50, do what you want with it.
It might have a name to it and you'll accept it.
Right.
Or it might be, it's anonymous and you'll accept it.
Yep.
And because we do receive those donations where it's like, just do it.
So that's different from a gift.
No,
No, really, it's
not
money.
really.
I think the words are interchangeable,
Yeah.
donation and gift.
Well, because I'm thinking monetary contributions will be accepted. Blank.
Well, not blankety blankety,
Hmm.
So
if the conditions are appropriate for the library. If the terms, are appropriate for the library. If somebody says, we will leave it to the library, or we donate to the library, but these are conditions that are not consistent with our purpose or values or mission.
But I'm simply saying I'm walking in tomorrow and I'm giving you $500 and I'm not telling you what to do with it or how to spend it.
Oh, that's fine.
Why is that not a separate category? Because to me, this says monetary contributions will be accepted if conditions, like this money has a condition, but if
No,
I
no,
just
no.
walk in and
But your
say,
condition is there's no condition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we'll
that's
still have
Condition
to
that's
is no.
acceptable.
no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was reading it
Mhm.
as only if
No.
you
Oh, no.
attach. Okay.
No.
Can I ask a question, though?
No.
So hypothetically, say, I'm out and I see you at, like, the Common Man, and I say, hey, Vit, can I buy you a drink? Or you and Jonathan, so it's, and I say, can I buy you guys drinks? Would that fall into this? And you say, no, I
I've
can't
never had
because-"
anyone buy me an ice cream or a drink.
I think
Would
that's
that prevent
outside
me
of
from
the,
buying you guys a drink if I see you and Jonathan?
I think that's outside of the perimeter.
I think it is.
That doesn't have
I
anything to
mean-
do with donating to the library.
No, but
Separate thing. Although, use your discretion.
for sure, because what do I owe you, Rick? If you're
Yeah.
gonna buy me and John a drink, I'm gonna get very suspicious. What do you want?
Yeah, what do you want, Rick?
Yeah.
So be watching for your game plan. I think that's a separate outside of the library hours. It doesn't have anything to do with the library directly. It's an indirect.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard of that situation come up, and usually, you know, with policies, something comes up and then we
And
go,
if it shows up, we'll deal with it then.
yeah, how are we supposed to interpret this? You know, we had, it was maybe it might have been last year or the last 2 years, you know, the scarecrows were being sold in front of the library, and one of the patrons bought one and gave it to a staff person just as a thank you for their help. That's a tip, and we can't accept that. So what do you do with the scarecrow? Well, they're not going to take it back. I mean, it's really hard to say no. I mean, I've said no for plenty of things like that, but
But on the same account, let's say that patron lives next door to the staff member.
are you going to mow my lawn also? Because that would be really awesome. If you're
Well,
gonna.
no, I was going to with the scarecrow, and I bought 2 scarecrows, and I say, here, you can put one on your lawn.
It's very hard. I don't know, Rick. I mean,
It's
you
a
and I are
fuzzy
friends, so
line.
it's really hard to imagine this situation. So
Yeah, it's a fuzzy line.
it is a fuzzy line. But if we have something in writing, at least in terms of, can we define something as a tip?
Right.
And then we can say, I can't take this tip. And then if a patron is pressing us, because this has happened too, you know, in terms of a cash tip, then it just goes into anonymous donation, you know, and because we can't accept a tip.
I think if it has to do with, you know, take your example of a scarecrow and you live next door and you're saying, oh, here, use this one. I think you might have to say no because it is directly related to an activity of the library. But if it is a social event or a social thing outside of the library purview,
Yeah.
I don't think that crosses the line in general. Do you?
I think what we want to do is add the stuff in red so that we have something in writing so that we can start to define if these situations come, we have a place to go. You know, because
So do we want to expand on what we have then?
just in what we
Just
have
the
in the red,
red.
except for the plates,
Add it to the
plates of
red.
cookies, not plants of cookies.
It also looked to me like there was an update 16, 17, 18. Like, is it traditional to do it every year or just because
Yes,
things have...
you-
that makes sense to me.
Well, you guys, the board, I don't know where it's written down, but you review your policies annually. I mean, you have a lot of policies, so we try to
Right.
get to them over the course of 2 years.
Well, I was thinking, like, sometimes it is 2 years. It could be a full... This one just happened to keep falling. So I was
Well,
just curious.
Probably because something happened. Probably because someone wanted to
Give
give
us something.
a staff person a tip, and I said, you can't take a tip. And that's like, well, we don't have a policy for that. Okay, so we'll write a policy for that, because you can't take a tip.
Any
I'm
other?
wondering if we need, in that, regarding the staff, if we need to add some kind of clause connecting it to their job at the library. So because a lot of the part-time staff work 2 jobs.
Okay.
If one of them is a waitress or a waiter,
Ugh.
and I recognize them
Okay.
as a member of the library, and I give them an extra large tip at the restaurant, am I violating the rule?
How would you prove that?
It's, I don't know. I mean,
Perhaps
just,
you should not do that.
Okay.
I know what you're
but
saying.
this is like, I mean, it says library staff.
right.
so
So
at
if they're
this
working
point,
outside the staff, if it's
they're
a separate
not-
job,
they're
not
not-
representing the library. They're working a different job.
No, but I understand how it can be
Common
confusing
man staff
because,
at that point.
you know, I'm always staff. You know, we are public
Yeah.
people and we're always representing the library.
Yeah. I mean,
know.
you're a full timer, so it's kind of a
It
different
doesn't
line.
matter. It's more the perception of a patron
Yeah.
that you represent the library. I mean, when I worked on a bookmobile, the kids were like, "Do you sleep on this? Do you sleep on the bookmobile?" And we're like, "Nope. You go home. You go home. You have a home. Yes."
You don't live in the library?
You know, and they were like, "Are you sisters?" Me and my clerk, and I'm like, we looked at each other like, no. I was old enough to be her mother, but no. You know, because it was children. You know, they just
Yeah, well, they think teachers sleep in the school.
sure. But you know, I don't know. But you're always you're recognizable in the grocery store because you're the teacher. You
Yes.
know,
And-
So-
and-
They see you
and
as
then
the
you're-
teacher.
And you're out of reference.
mm-hmm.
And I always try to I used to try to address that, so they would come and say hello. Because,
Hmm.
whoa, you're out of, context. That's too confusing if you're not in school. That's your only place to be.
Any other thoughts about this policy? Do we want to
Actually-
vote to accept this, or
Teachers are allowed to accept gifts, aren't they?
Yes,
apples?
yes,
Well, no. Like Christmas time, I mean.
No, yeah, you're right.
yes.
Do you want to change it so we can accept gifts? Is that the easier thing?
Well, I don't think there's a problem with the staff accepting gifts, as long as it's not
I disagree.
substantial.
I've never worked
I
in a place where
disagree.
we
I
can
don't
accept
know.
gifts. We're
I think
public
that this is,
servants.
the way she framed it here, I think is appropriate.
Too.
And I think once you start accepting gifts, that it can get bigger,
Yeah.
and it can go to where you don't expect. So I think you need to
Yeah.
keep it simple
Okay.
and the line pretty clean.
I agree.
Yeah, and you can put your staff in
And
an
this is
awkward
not
position as
uncommon,
well.
whether
That's
it's in,
not-
in healthcare
that's not
or in
helpful to them.
Teachers is
public
any-
service.
Yeah.
This
any
is not an
Customer
uncommon,
service.
For the children, not
Organization.
for-
yeah, not an uncommon approach.
You don't.
I mean, they
Well,
are.
I think if we can not accept gifts, then the perception is that we are impartial,
Right,
you know, and we're not going to
Which is the point.
favor
right,
We're supposed to be.
right,
one trustee over another trustee,
right.
or one patron over, you know, I think it's the idea that, you know, there's no impropriety and that we can remain
Right.
impartial. So, but if you want to ever totally buy me ice cream or drink,
As long as Jonathan's okay with it.
I'm sure he does.
Okay, I'd like to move on.
Okay.
Any
We
other
need to accept
discussion?
this. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We have to
Jen.
motion to accept it.
right.
Is
I thought
everybody
she was
all
moving
set
on.
yeah.
with this? We've talked this about 20 minutes. Are we all set with
Yeah.
this?
No, that's an exaggeration. Yes,
Do
we're
I
all
hear a
set.
motion to accept this policy as is?
I make
Remember,
a-
we can always review this at a later date if
Sure.
it, if it's unsettling. Do I hear any motions to accept?
I'll move to accept.
Any second?
I'll second it.
All in agreement?
I'm gonna vote no on this one.
You're
Okay.
gonna vote no?
I'm gonna be the consenting vote in this one.
For real?
Dissenting?
Dissenting
Okay.
vote. Okay, so
I just disagree with that one part. So I'm gonna be a consenting vote.
Okay.
We
Okay.
disagreed for a change.
That's fine. Are there
Still
any,
overruled.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
matter.
earth shattering. Okay.
are there any other policies? I think that was the only
No,
one.
no. You'll see.
we're up to it.
Right now,
Next
tonight.
month, hopefully, you're going to see the volunteer policy. We have to
about you
update
buy
that
this
one.
too?
And
Well, see, now I can't
circulation
buy the
is
trustees'
a
drinks
very
either.
big policy. You'll see that one next month.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's more coming, but not
Oh, yeah.
tonight.
No, not tonight, not
Buy
tonight.
her a drink if you
And the
buy
landscaping-
everyone a drink.
That's, don't have anything new.
Okay,
Actually, I bet you could. Yes, you can, because above
Order.
it says, as long as it-
Let's refocus,
Where's my
people.
gavel?
Make it
I don't
put
know.
into,
Sorry,
Um,
my picture.
can we
Right.
move on, please?
Are you still
like
on the
to-
gift thing?
No. We went to
Refocus.
landscaping proposals.
Yeah, we're on to landscaping
I don't have anything
proposals,
new.
please. I'd like to be out of here at 9 o'clock tonight.
let's-
It's now 10 to 9.
Move.
Landscaping proposals, I think they were on hold for the moment, were they not? Yep. Granite sign is tabled. Programs on how the library works,
Starting in January.
starting in January.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have a year's worth of programs for you.
Oh, okay.
It's-
Any-
But
Yes.
it's for anybody, right? It's for
Yes,
patrons.
yes.
It's for staff that might be new, that
Yes.
might learn
Yes.
something.
I started a syllabus for you, and I have the department heads who are taking over different sections of it, filling in
Excellent.
details.
So if there's any topics the public or the trustees would like to suggest, they can simply email the library.
Sure. And that's probably going to be a Tuesday night. It's probably going to be the fourth Tuesday night,
Okay?
because you all said you were free on Tuesday, and
Tuesdays are good, yeah.
I'm not. I'm committed. I have 3 Tuesdays of programming and this meeting, so if I'm going to be around on my slot, then
Okay, very
it's
good.
Tuesdays starting in January.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Hmm?
Database trial funding request,
No, we're going to you'll just see that when you see the budget.
okay.
What about the information that he was supposed to get?
You'll see that when you see the
We'll
budget.
still get to that.
Mhm.
Quarterly statistics, we had our report last
Just said
month.
that.
Yeah.
And as they get up and running with the database, we'll get more detailed
Yeah.
reports in the future.
Mhm.
Wait a minute.
Well,
Wait, what?
different.
Where are
It
we?
different. It's
Quarterly reports.
Tableau looks different.
No, but okay, you're saying the statistics.
The statistics, yes.
Okay, not database statistics.
Yes, that kind
We
of
have
thing.
those statistics. We have
Right,
them.
but I understood with the Tableau, we would be able to get like more detail
Y-
on things if we wanted
There's a
it.
lot of, it's big.
Yeah,
Tableau is, we're all doing online training for Tableau, and it's, there's so many possibilities. It's almost too many possibilities, but there, it's a very powerful tool.
yeah,
So, but yeah, you'll see it.
yeah, so we'll get more detail, like we wanted more
I'll take
detail
a
on
10-hour training in that.
how many museum passes are used, or
Yeah.
that sort of thing, we can get that detail more easily.
I mean, we have a database usage spreadsheet in statistics. I think traditionally the board always received what you receive.
Right,
Yeah.
And not all these other, we take a lot of stats, and there's, for whatever reason historically, that was the one, that was a read file.
maybe at the end of the year, it would be good to have like a statistical report that's the detailed one, rather than a detailed one throughout the
Yeah.
year. That might make more sense.
Like, one statistic I personally would like to see are like the individual museum passes, like the Strawberry Bank, for instance. Annually, how many times is that pass checked out? So I can see, how much are we spending per checkout?
Mm-hmm.
And if we're spending $200 per checkout because it doesn't get checked out that often, that's more than it would cost to just get the ticket for the day. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
you know.
so maybe just at the end of the year, we'll see those detail-y reports, but I
Sure.
don't know that it's necessary quarterly, because we're more interested in the big picture, and I don't know that we need to put you through that every quarter. Does that make sense to everybody?
For the databases, given that, for the budget, I'd like to see individual usage, like
Yeah.
the unique. If I looked at a particular database every single day, several times, I'm still only one unique user.
Oh, that kind of individual. usage.
That's what I want to see. If we're gonna roll in these other 3 or 4 databases, I want to know if our current databases are being used. That's
Is
what I
it
want to see.
one person using it 100
Yeah,
times,
exactly.
or is it 100 different people?
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Which is nice information to have, yeah.
Okay.
It informs how you allocate your money.
Mm-hmm.
If you were going to eliminate one, would the public know ahead of time?
We try and let people know that it's going away, or that something new is coming.
Could they petition to have it put back? And I don't mean a formal petition, but could they at least, obviously, they could at least let
I've
you know.
had people say, I want Friegel music back. That was $5,000, and we probably had 28 people using it.
That's a
You know,
Well, I
perfect
guess it meant
example of
more
what
of
I'm
like,
talking about,
exactly.
there was a database
Exactly.
specifically
And it was a
that I
very
used
limited, it
that
was
went
a
away,
limited,
and it came back, and I don't know how what prompted it coming back. I was happy that it came back.
What was this? I'm sorry.
It was a database that I used
The
frequently
auto-
that was gone.
because
and
you
then-
said you wanted it.
But I don't, me personally, that I wanted it.
That was something that was removed, and it was great. Here's another person who wants it back. But that was something, I think it was in, I want to
It
say
was
it
a
was in the
while
core
ago.
pack.
It
Yeah,
wasn't,
but I
just-
wonder if it was in the core pack for G-Milks. Because some of these discussions about the databases, some are, they used to be joint purchases, and then sometimes they're not joint purchases with
didn't even have
either
that
the
one.
state or with our consortium. So there's a lot of kind of moving pieces with databases.
And I could access it through other libraries, but I never really realized why it went away and why it came back. I was just happy it came back.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting
I
we have that
know.
one.
I wonder if the auto one was a consortium. I'd have to look in the.
Yeah, I mean, that was an example of, I wish people would use that more because they could save themselves a lot of money.
Wouldn't, is it more, you mean? You said wouldn't?
No, it would.
That's what, yeah.
People
that's what I
should
mean.
use it. It's
Yeah.
What
very,
database are you talking about?
it's an
Auto-
auto repair database, and when you, like, my fiance takes cars apart and then can't figure out how to put them back together. So we go to that website and we figure out how to put it back together.
The alternator is all over your kitchen table most of the time.
Most of the time he knows how to put it back together, but I can't tell you the number of times that database has saved us.
Yeah, on the when we send out our emails through Constant Contact about programs, upcoming programs, they're highlighting parts of the collection, and they'll highlight a database, or we'll put it up, if we don't have a program to put on the front page slider on the website, we'll throw up a service, like a database, and then there'll be an uptick in use, just because it's, oh yeah, I haven't tried that thing yet, you know.
And say the
So-
difference between going on a YouTube or a tutorial to get that information, these are schematics. So you can actually see how the pieces
don't
go
have to-
together, so you don't have to
You
like.
have to wait the 10 minutes
Yeah,
for the guy to
exactly.
get to that part of the video.
So, I mean,
Pause it.
it is what it is, but I like it. We
Wait,
like
I can't see. Move the camera. I can't see.
So it depends on your format. You might like to watch YouTube video. I like to see the pictures.
Okay,
4 minutes.
We still have
can we
non-public.
move on, please? Calendar, any other items that anyone would like to bring up at this meeting at this time? We covered
Well,
everything?
you
Any
could
other
put the
questions?
birthday party on
I,
there.
I wrote it in on mine, because
Okay.
I put it in.
Anything else? Okay. Our calendar, the trustees will meet next on October 16th, 7 PM here at Town Hall. The Development Fund is meeting tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the Director's Office. The Friends of the Library will meet September 24th at 7 PM in the Director's Office. Any comments from the press, public, or any other board members at this time? Okay. We are closing this meeting and going into a non-public.
Roll call vote. Don't forget.
Huh?
We have to do a roll call vote. So
I was just about to.
okay.
Maybe we have a roll call vote to close our meeting.
I'll make. Oh, to go into the non.
To go into non-public.
Yeah,
I
so I'll
mean.
make the motion to go into non-public per
Second.
RSA 91-A:3 IIA.
Thank you. Janice?
My second.
Roll
year.
call.
No, it's roll call. You
Oh.
gotta each.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Jess?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Shut off your microphones, please.
we need.
They're not in there.
They're not here.